Um, Hello. Hi. Oh, my PNG tuber isn't being silly. Hold on. Uh-oh. You'll get to see things. Oh no. Did I do it right? I did. Hey. Hi. Besties, we're gonna play some Bear and Breakfast today. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I hope nobody else was watching. You messed that up, kiddo.
Oh my gourd. Oh my gourd. Thank you. Thank you for the 3 months. Oh my god. How are we doing today, besties? How we doing? My partner's cat is on her little hammock on the window and she's living her best life. And we're gonna play some Bear and Breakfast. I have not played this game for 3 years. It's been 3 years. I last played it in 2023. Yeah. So, crazy. We're gonna sleep because it's dark. This is not the place where we stopped. Oh god. Can I fast travel? I think we were... I don't know where we were. How art thou? I'm doing good. Despite the circumstances, I'm doing good. Oh, Millie sees something. You see something? Are you gonna get it? Nope, just stare. I forgot my coffee! Oh, this is awful. I think I was up here. I think I was talking to... Yeah, I was talking to Julia. Get 1 small succulent plant. How do I do that? In general, I haven't played this game in a really long time, so I don't really remember what to do. Can I talk to you? If we get the greenhouse back up, who knows what delicious things we can cook up. Okay. Great. Thanks. How do I play a game? What's this game about? Basically, I'm a bear, and I run several bed and breakfasts across the map. So, Timber Crossing is where you start out, and then you, well, technically the Thicket, then Timber Crossing, Stardust. I've explored a little bit over here. Oh, yeah, never mind, I know what that is. And you basically unlock the map as you progress further into the game. So that's the little farming goat lady. She shows us how to farm and cook. This is one of my bed and breakfasts. This is a work in progress, I think. I think I only just started on this. Up here's the cooking. Sorry, the eating area. And this is the kitchen. There's a little campfire spot out here. That was a little feature. We'll go to... Well, you kind of saw the first one. But... Yeah, the bear we play as, his name is Hank. His name is Hank. Have we scheduled anybody? Have we accepted any? Can I lower the walls? Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, so it's quite cramped in here. Gotta say. Oh. Dinky Shed. That's the first one. Then we have the motel, the farmhouse, the ski resort, and then Undiscovered. It's a really cute game. Okay, details. Wait. Guest requests. There we go. Okay. Millie, no. Here. There. Hi. Hi, sweet pea. Hi. Are you here to cuddle? Oh, did you hear her? She just kicked my mouse and made it click. Yeah? What do you gotta say? Oh, really? You have anything else to say? Huh? Or are you just gonna rub on the mic? How's it going? She just keeps rubbing herself up on the mic. Oh, I think she's gonna lay down on my desk. Okay, cutie. Cutie, cutie. I don't think I have enough for that one. I think this one? Yeah, okay. Next one is 12 and 18. And then 13 and 15. Millie, don't you dare eat my microphone. Stop it. You little. Oh my god. Okay, girl. Oh my god. And then she had the nerve to get her back fluff all up. After she started biting my mic. Okay. Okay, so we've got that covered. We could probably go over here and see what's going on over here. Millie, put your back fluff down. You're okay. You're the one who ate my mic, okay? It's not like I ate your mic. Oh, I forgot. There's a diner here. I don't think we can really interact with it, but here's the other place. Okay. 24, 18, 15. We could do this one or here. Yeah. And 13, 18, 15. There. Oh, I forgot to turn the music on. I was like, why is it so quiet? There's no fucking music. Okay. I think that's good. Let's see. 24, 18, and 18. Whoops. Yeah, we'll do that one. Okay, and then 13, 12, and 18. Oh, this one is really good, actually. 26, 18, and 18. Damn, 26. Here we go. We're all booked up. Perfect. Wait, what's this? I'm scared. How do I get a succulent plant? I don't remember how to do that. I haven't played this game in so long. Let's go to Winterberry. Winterberry? I'm still stuck in the Winterberry. I'm still stuck in the potion permit mindset from yesterday. Okay, where's the greenhouse? Oh, have we not done this one at all? Oh, I don't think we've done that one at all. Is this the greenhouse? Oh! There's a guy we can talk to. Who are you? Jax. Were you able to fix the station? Yeah. It's back up and running. Good. You're going above and beyond, which is a rare sight. Here, these should help you give your guests a place to watch their stories. Oh, cinema. And a nice reprieve. I don't know. From their realities. I need that in my life. Where's, oh, is this the greenhouse? Oh. Yeah, one small succulent. Okay, well, we can't do that right now. Where do I get a succulent plant? What? Oops. I forgot how to play this game. I cannot stash items there. What does that mean? Millie is sitting on my arm. Thank you. Have I done anything with this yet? Oh, I have a little bit. I've made like the dining area and the kitchen and the boiler room. And nothing else. That's good. Okay. Well, we can focus on that in a minute because we don't have really egg dippy for Gus. Oh my god, egg dippy! Egg dippy! French onion soup. Let's see. I think that down there on the bottom left is a monument. Lemon? You're telling me there's a lemon up here? Oh my god, hi Wyvern. I'm on the hunt for a lemon. And we just booked everyone again. Lemon? Oh, I took a lemon. Oh, I can talk to him again. You met the old lady that roams the valley? Barbara? Yeah, she's nice. Yes, her. She roamed the streets of Winterberry not long ago. Okay. Your favorite vegetable? Is lemon a vegetable? I'm so gullible. You could totally tell me it's a vegetable and I would maybe believe you. She was looking for a well-behaved bear with a helpful disposition. Oh, do you think she found him? Oh, I have my doubts. She has a scent about her I haven't sensed in a while. Even before this valley went quiet. Walking about the western path from Pinefall before the landslide closed off. I think she went down the road back to High Lake. Perhaps you can go help her search? That's a great idea, I'm sure. I sure hope I can help her find him. Sorry, big yawn. Oh, I'm certain you'll have no trouble at all. Oh, Hank. Oh, little Hank. Well, he's not so little, actually. I'm gonna get some more clothes. I'm bare. Ooh, autosave. That's not the bus stop. I feel like out of all of the places, Winterberry would not be the place to be looking for a succulent. Would it be here? Lemons are a citrus, which is an early group of vegetables? What the fuck? I feel like that's just freaking rocked my world, learning about that. Okay, I don't think any succulents would be here because it doesn't look like it. I need to sleep. Oh, you're joking? What? Sorry. Oh, sorry, Millie. See, I told you I would probably believe you. I'm so sorry, Millie. She flinched when I hit the table. Oh, God. Damn it. Stop! You're actually so mean. You wanted to see how gullible I actually was? Look, I just like to believe the best in people. I like to trust people on their word. Which, you're also good at lying. Yeah, so. Huh. Well, I can't be fooled by that again, I'll tell you. Is it in the sawdust? Oh, maybe a succulent plant would be in the A24. I don't know. Smile? Yeah, whatever. Okay, bully. God. Is that a piece of trash?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at the map. Trash, cinder blocks. No, I guess there's no plants here. Shit. Ipswich. What? I don't remember that. Do I... Okay, I guess we're just gonna wander for a little bit until I cave and decide to look it up. Thoughts? That was not the right way to go. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. There we go. All right, let's see. I tempted you, and I was like, oh, I'm so gullible, I would believe anything. I can't expect you to not test that out after. You know what? I really should have seen that coming. I really should have. So, really, it's on me. Okay, bye, Milky. I can't. Okay. It's a little bit loud here. There we go. Can I talk to you?
Twiggy! Oh, I love Twiggy.
Almost fell into the cauldron once, but she saved me at the last second. Although I'm pretty sure she secretly wanted to see what would happen. I believe you. What's this area? Oh, the thicket. There wouldn't be any succulents here, would there? Do I have to unlock another area? Can I go up there? Oh my god, that's fucking cute. Okay. Okay. I feel like the succulent plant is something that I have to get through story, but I don't remember anything. It's a hobbit hole. It is. Have I repaired this? I think I have. Yes. Oh, wait. Wait, what's the Dark Grove? Wait. Because what I thought the Dark Grove was actually black moss. What's the Dark Grove then? Oh my god, this is gonna be so embarrassing. Me trying to relearn how to play this freaking game. Oh, wait. Oh, it's open. The high lake sounds like... Wait. The high lake sounds like a vibe. It is. Why is it scary? Help, why is it scary? Herbs, mushrooms. Oh, it's where Gus is! Well, maybe Gus can help us with succulents. I'm sure he knows a good succulent or two. Right? I thought I could pick those up. I can't. Hi, Gus. What's up? A little bready stick dipped inside a creamy egg would really hit the spot right about now. Oh, yeah. Whatever. Okay. We'll get some mushrooms. We'll get some mushrooms and, like, some other plants. And I was also wrong, by the way. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He would never know. Entrance? Wait, what? What? Hold on a second. Hold up. I want this mushroom, though. Hold up, what? Prospector's gear? How do I get Prospector's gear again? Comes in handy when dealing with rock piles. Yeah. Do I have to go to that one guy? I know that's really, really vague. Sage. Herbs. Charcoal lily. Okay. You know what? Let's try to find the prospector gear or whatever. So I have a feeling I might know where it is. Snake? Stop it. Oh, there's another place up here. Oh, that's an area exit. How do I get out? Okay. Don't worry, it's all good. Is it in Timber Crossing? What does this game have to do with breakfast? Okay, do you know what a bed and breakfast is? It's like a play on bed and breakfast, but it's bear and breakfast, and you run. Oh my god, the guests are leaving a mess. And you basically run several bed and breakfasts as a bear, so you can like check people out and like, yeah. What was it? 10 and 23. This one. Why do you need succulents then? Because it's part of a quest, so I can unlock the greenhouse to do some cooking, to make French onion soup and egg dippy. You also need to, for certain bed and breakfasts, you need to make like a dining area and a kitchen. So, is this where I get it? I feel like Logger's tools. No. This is, okay. How many logger's tools do I have? I have one. Okay. No. Okay. Hey guy, can I talk to you? Of course I know who's been stealing my sandwiches. This week, it's lettuce and bologna. I hope they like it. Oh. Hi, Fat Wombat. Hi, Beastie. I do. How do? I don't think this is... I'm just, like stumbling around, trying to understand things. Oh my god, Void, hi! What do you mean 3 years? Yeah. Last time I played this game on stream, it was 2023. What? Cutscene? It took us a while, but I think you're ready. For what? Well, Hank, you've been working your magic on this valley, and I have to say, I'm very impressed. I think I'd like to show you what my corner of the forest looks like. If you'd like to join me, that is. Yeah? Oh my god, slay! Pinefall? What the fuck is Pinefall? Okay, I wasn't expecting What is this? This is really cute! Hold up. Do you think that's the prospector's tools? Oh my god. Hello? What? I found you. Hi. Welcome to Pinefall. The most perfect scenery you'll ever see, if I do say so myself. Why, the history of this place alone could fill up 10 encyclopedias. You like it?
What's an encyclopedia?
Of course you do! Now, just like the rest of the valley, we've got our work cut out for us here. Pinefall Resort has 3 main buildings, and they've all seen better days, so we should start by fixing one of them up. I think you ought to parlay, question mark, with your shark friend and get to work. Okay. Well, I gotta sleep again, because it's dark. I can't see in the dark. Oh, this is a lot. I wonder if this is where the succulents are. What's this? That's a carrot. That's not a succulent. Hold on. Maybe if I look on the map. Honey. Oh my god. There's so much. Potatoes. Onions, peppers, corn. Oh my god. Spinach. I thought that was a succulent. Succulent. Garlic. Oh, I love garlic. Okay. Okay. Mint. Okay, exciting. Tomatoes. Okay. It doesn't look like there are succulents here, but I will take it. Oh. Oh, interesting. You've never seen Pirates of the Caribbean? Yes, parlay is pronounced like that. I watched it when I was but a wee child, and only once with my dad. So yes, but no, I don't remember it. Yes, but basically no. Herbs. Yeah, so... Ooh. Yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is you can call me uncultured. Oh, okay. You know what? We'll worry about that in a minute. Cause I still gotta get some succulents. Ooh. Can't help myself. We should probably get the bus set up. Yes. Oh, I got an achievement. Repair all bus stops.
Yippee! I did it!
Cool. Okay. Yes, Millie?
What's up?
Okay, you know what? Okay, hold on. I feel so overwhelmed. Oh my god. Okay. First off, we gotta book some rooms. Well, do we? How much money do we have? How do I check that? How do I check how much money I have? Oh my god, I have 12,000. Okay, I think I'm good for a while. How do I... Okay. I'm gonna look it up. Because I don't want to be sitting here all day. Hold on. Where to find succulent plant in Bear and Breakfast. Went to search where are succulents, and the top searched thing for where are on your browser are where are your kidneys, and now you're concerned about the medical knowledge of the average person. Yikes. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's a decorative object. I would have never got there. It's a decorative object we can get from the trash boy. Large snake plant. Small succulent plant. Wow. Wow. It was here the whole time. Well, thank you for looking it up, chat, or just telling me. Thank you. I was not gonna sit there all day trying to look for succulents in the wild. I'm sorry. I'm not a true gamer. I like to look things up. Oops. Is the Julia up here? I think so. The Julia. Hello? Oh, I missed it. Julia? Julia, where are you? Hey, girl, where are you? Oh, wait, oh, there she is. I lie. Me when I lie. Hi. Did you find all the stuff for the greenhouse? Got all of it. All right, these are good. I think there might be one more thing we need, but I think it'll be harder to get. Okay. Oh my god, so many things for cooking. Oh, this is exciting. I forgot where I'm going. I need bus stop. Bus stop? Bus stop. I wish the bus stop was closer. Winterberry. Ah, so pretty. The snow outside where I live has slowly been melting, and it's been making me a little bit happier because I want it to be spring, even though it's not gonna be spring for a while. So I gotta cope with it for a little bit, but we're almost there. I'm holding out for spring. Welcome to the greenhouse. Would you like to repair it?
Yeah.
There any debris? I think I've already done that. Yup. A bag of seeds, glass panels, and stone bricks. Oh, I have all of those. Perfect. Yeah, I'm just a gamer. Get your butt to work.
Hell yeah.
Fair fruit completed. Oh, oh my god. This is so cute. Oh my god. So many things. So many goodies of which to pluck. Oh my god, 21. 20 berries and 10 herbs. Dude, I will never have to harvest anything ever again. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, I got beans too. I fucking love beans. Oh, this is a good day. This is a good day for the Hank community. Oh, that's real fun. Why is it pointing me this way? Oh. I don't want to talk to you yet. Let's go back to High Lake and talk to Julia again. Hello, Minnie? Oh, girl, what are you doing? She was behind the dresser and she started chirping. Girl, you don't need to yell. And she started chirping. Julia. Oh, King Julian. Sorry. God, I want to watch that movie again. So, did you find it? Were you able to repair it? Tell me.
It's ready.
There were all sorts of seeds, beans, beets, bell peppers, lemons, carrots. That is amazing. Oh my golly, peppers, beans? This is such a dream come true, Hank. Right place at the right time is all. Don't sell yourself short, big guy. Girl, what are you looking at now? You know how much cooking we can do with all of this? All right, well, you have some work to do. Fuck. You're gonna need new equipment, and I'm going to find some more of the captain's recipes. God, I need to stop yawning. I need a standing desk really bad. But in this tiny ass apartment, we do not have room for that. Also, I already have a desk, so. Thank you, Hank. You're breathing new life into the valley. Yay! Ooh. Mmm. Delicious new life. Okay. Oh, okay. We're not gonna do the cabin in Pinefall yet because I wanna get this area kind of fleshed out more. Let's see if we can cook some things. Egg dippy. I need egg, bread, and fuel. A standing desk is something you'd never use, not gonna lie. I just sit way too much, and I am also on a birth control that like makes it easier for blood clots to happen. So for the good of my own health and to prevent a blood clot, I need to be like active and standing up and stretching like constantly, and not stay in one place for too long. But I love video game, so yeah. Also, not gonna lie, I just prefer standing. Also, it makes me feel less sleepy. Okay, so we can't make egg dippy. Can we make French onion soup? Okay. Bread, butter, cheese. Okay, where do we get all of these ingredients, though? Okay, so we have the recipes, but we need to get bread and onion. No, bread and butter and cheese. How do I do that? I don't know how to do that. Oi, oi, get out of my way. Do I need to buy it at like a grocery store or something? Maybe? I don't think it would be here, but... Oh wait, did I unlock the prospector's tools? Yes! Let's freaking buy it. Well, girl, I didn't want to scroll all the way to the freaking bottom. There. Okay. So we have one of those. No, I think that's just an information center. Hi, baby. Yeah. What'd you see? What'd you see, Millie? God, get out of my way. Get out of my way. Is it at the... I feel like you purchase the stuff from somewhere. Right? I might also look that up in a minute. So I feel like I should know, and I feel like in the back of my mind I do know. I don't buy it from there. Diner, motel. Oh, do we go over here? Looks refreshing. Yeah, I was right. There we go. Okay. We'll buy... Oh, there we go. Let's do 5 cheese. We'll do 8 bread. And, oops. And 8 eggs. Oh, and butter. We'll just get 8 of everything. Everything that we need right now. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so we buy it in the A24. The food that we can't craft. Is this where... Or did I not do these yet? Oh, no, it was. Okay.
Hello?
Here we go. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay. First we need egg dippy. So we need to boil egg. Not 8. I just want 1. I just want 1. And then we need to roast bread with 2 fuel. Where's fuel?
Hello?
Oh, right here. Oh, I have to put the thing down. Okay. Cook. I'm excited. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what? I could go for some eggs and toast right now. Ooh. That sounds so fun. Okay, egg dippy, done. And then we need French onion soup. So we need to... Wait. Oh. I need a different thing for... Where's the crafting bench? Oh, there it is. The workbench or whatever. Crafting. Functional furniture. Where's the kitchen stuff? Oh, maybe I haven't unlocked better cooking equipment. Maybe, okay, so I can't make the French onion soup yet, but I did make the egg dippy for Gus. And I think Gus is in the Dark Grove, so we need to... Okay. A bit of a trek, but we can do it. Oh shit, I forgot my coffee again. It's been sitting in my microwave since before I started stream. Yeah. One can call me good with the memory. That's me. That's me, folks. I love the art in this game. It's so beautiful. Okay.
Oh, Gus. Oh, Gus.
Oh, I thought I was gonna sneeze. Nope. Got something for me back there? Yup, fresh out the kitchen. Ooh, salty, savory, creamy, delicious. Tastes like I'm about to do something useful. You make a mean egg dippy, big boy. Thanks. I didn't lay it, only cooked it. We used to get egg dippy made once a year, if that. My poor ma, I don't blame her. She did the best she could. We were 12 brothers and she had to carry us all on her back, literally. And we were all little dumbasses too, driving her up the wall. Oh man, I don't think my mom could have handled more than one Hank. I remember one time my 2 older brothers and I got up in the middle of the night to steal the pudding. We accidentally dropped the whole bowl from the 3rd floor. I swear her mouth was spouting fire. I thought I was for sure dying that night. I wasn't allowed out of the hole for 3 days straight. Yeah, that wasn't even the longest I got put in the hole. The hole? she ever put you someplace nice when you did something good? Like, a shelf up high somewhere? What? No, that's dumb. Besides, I don't remember doing something good, like, ever. It was like we were 12 devils put on this earth to torment her. And boy, were we good at it. I don't know, I remember doing a lot of dumb things, but I don't think we ever had a hole. Yeah, well, how did you get punished? Forced to eat dish soap? The old stick over the paw? I hated that one. She usually sat down with me and told me what I did was wrong. Usually felt bad enough to apologize and never do it again. Oh. I see. That's dumb. Hey, you know what? When you are done scavenging, I think I could use some help with the humans. Oh? Yeah, see, I'm not a big people bear. Please? Nope, just yawn. I'm not a big people... Whoa, I'm not a big people bear. And I was thinking I needed someone with a heart, some zing. And don't get me wrong, you have a lot of stinky energy. Damn right. You know what? I've noticed I'm actually kind of blocking Hank. I don't want to block Hank. I'll stay here. And I'll put the chat up here. I'm so sorry. I did not realize that I was covering that much of our little big boy Hank. Okay. There we go. That should be good. Okay. And maybe that's exactly what I need from someone running my concierge stand. Do you mean that? Of course! I could use someone scaring some mustaches off a few folks for a fair price. Well, that's one of the least dumb things you've said today, Hank. Listen, if I come and help you, I'll need my own little table with my own little chair. Always the undeniable people possum, Gus had offered his services as a concierge. All he asked for was a little stand through which he could take care of his business, of course. A perfect position for a charming individual. Deal. Okay, that's great. So great. I'm excited. This is awesome. You're awesome. Thanks, Hank.
Oh, Gus is warming up to us.
Gus has offered to come work for you. Specialties, meeting and greeting people. Placed anywhere. Automatically accept new guests to any bedrooms you indicate. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
You know what we're gonna do? I might run an early ad break. The next one is set to be in about 10 minutes. But I need to go blow my nose and also heat my coffee back up because I forgot about it. So I kind of want to go do that. I'm gonna... Oh, I can't. Get me out! I'm gonna get back down here and head to Winterberry. And we're gonna take an ad break. All right, we're gonna pause real quick. All right, you will not miss anything, I promise. Let's see. We're gonna run an ad break. Okay,
Be right back.
Okay, I'm back. Thank you, Ad Watchers. I appreciate you. Okay. Let's get back to gaming, besties. All right, let's actually lock in. I think we can talk to this guy. Historians have yet to discover who made the first snowman. Don't drop the snowball. Go down in history today. Be the first to take advantage of our precious metal package. Sure. Hi, I think I am the master of fire now. You deserve only the slowest of claps. Now that you've reached the lower limit of what's required to sustain life in this location, you are required to meet the minimum threshold of, whoa, threshold that will show us your loving parent company. Oh my god. Oh, cool. Cool. My god. Okay. Oh, thanks. Thanks, you're so cool for that. I'm not sure exactly what I got, but I got something. Okay, let's do some decorating. I think I passed it. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's okay. I'm still learning. It's been 3 years, okay? Give me a break. Okay. Have we... Okay, we don't have any of these stocked, so... First things first, let's do a wee bit of cooking. We can do... Roasted potato sounds good. Herbs, butter, potato. Okay. Okay. So, we need raw. We need roast. 2 roasts. And then fuel. Okay. So. Actually, I think it gives us back the extra, so I think we're just gonna... Cooking items. Butter. Potato. Oh, I need to get some more potatoes, I think. You went on Reddit. Reddit was like, wow, you're on a 584-day streak. That's not something to celebrate. You're not trying to keep a streak. Oh no, I'm both proud and disappointed, I think. Would be a good combo. I only want one though. Oh, I can only make one, okay. You might doomscrit a bit too much. Holy shit, I cannot talk today. I'm so sorry. That's a very fair response. Yeah, no, I doom scroll a lot and it's really bad. Because I think there should be a healthy limit between being, like, educating yourself and being up to date with news and just making yourself absolutely miserable. And that's why I stopped being on Twitter. Although the past few days I have retweeted a few things. But that's as much as I've done. And I limit my time on Twitter to 30 minutes. And that's all I get. Same thing with TikTok. Okay, so I think also we have, hello, can I escape? Let me free. Thanks. Can I access the fridge? No, is it just for fun decoration times? Okay. I saw that we have, yep, we have corn on the cob. Oh, we already have mushroom soup. You know what? Let's just start dumping. Mushroom soup. Mashed potatoes. Okay. Cool. Wait, where's the shit I just made? Did I not grab it? No. Oh my god.
Where's the stuff I just made?
Stupid looking. Where is it? I scrolled past it. 1 roasted potato. We'll put the drinks over here. No. Can I just like... Oh, there we go. I have to hold left control. Okay. Put all the drinks there. Perfect. Okay. All right. So we're stocked up on food. Holy shit. You're a top 5% commenter on r/history memes, though. You would be. You would be. Good for you. You don't use Twitter anymore? Yeah. I really should delete it because it really doesn't do anything good for me. Heat. Wait. Oh, I don't have any bedrooms. The boiler also is not on. I've just realized. We'll put 60 in there. Does that work? Does that work? How? Did I fix it? Not exactly sure what's happening here. I think I did it right, because it doesn't have the icon anymore. Okay. You know what? I think it would be good to start with the bedrooms up here, actually. Forget, I need to go to this thing to be able to decorate. Okay. Let's go uppies. Can I go uppies? Uppies. Okay. Build room. I'm scared. You just stopped using it because you don't like the Musk Man? Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna delete it. Hold on. Because there's absolutely no reason I need it. Delete. I really don't. I don't need it. And I have threads. I don't know if threads is good or problematic, by the way. But I've had it for a while and I don't really use it. I don't really use social media. I know I've said that before, but... Crafting... I forget. How do I make walls? How do I make walls? Not sure what I have. I can automatically organize it? Shit. Okay, so first things first. We need a bed. Ooh, this might be fun actually. Ooh, blue or like a yellow-ish. Oh, this is better decoration. Fuck it, we'll do that. You know what? We'll do one of these two. Why not? Okay. Upstairs. How do I don't remember how to build wall. Help. How build wall? I don't remember. Oh. I will remember. Okay. That's probably good. We can have the door. Oh, I wish it lined up. That's okay. We'll have it like that. Heat 50. Okay, why is it at 50? Oops. Oh, okay. Okay, fine, fucking fine. Jeez. How do I turn it? How do I turn it? How do I turn it? Oh my god. I don't remember anything. Okay, create room. 1, 2. I need to look at the controls. R. One would think that would be the first thing I tried. One would be wrong. Reddit ain't as bad as they say, to be honest. Honestly, I don't really hear any bad things about Reddit. Like, I'm sure there are and can be, but out of all of the social media, I think that one's... You don't really gotta worry about that one. Much. How do I get more? Build room. Ah. Add window. We'll put a window above the bed. And... yeah. Add another window here. Why does this one line up with that one, but this one doesn't? Huh. Millie, do you have an answer for that? What do you mean no? What do you mean no? Damn, I need to buy some more furniture. This is sad. Oh, that's just a table. What? Oil wall lamp. There? Yeah. We'll put a clock in here. Sure. People say it's got cursed stuff, and it does, but there's worse. Don't bite my cables. You run into those communities on DeviantArt more than on Reddit, you find, and you've used Reddit much more than you've used DeviantArt. Honestly, I completely forgot that DeviantArt was still a thing. I thought it had died, if I'm being honest. Let's do that. Actually, you know what? I kind of like the idea of the clock being there, the plant being there, and then the wall light being here, maybe? Okay. Let's see. Okay, I gotta think. I think bathroom next. I'm trying to think about the best way to lay everything out. It is still a thing. There's cursed as fuck things there that you found searching. Oh god. Oh my god, ew. Okay, good that I never used that. That's really gross. Oh my god. Bathroom? Nope, just made a bed. That's really good. I can't get rid of it. Sink. Tub. Toilet. Okay. Build room. Hygiene. Bathroom. See, I would like for the pathway to be too wide. I don't know how reasonable that would be, though. Maybe it would. Because I'm planning on making another room here and then another room here, and I think that would count. So we can... Oops. Well, I do like the idea of sink here. Shit. Wrong button. Tub here. And toilet. Okay. Good. Oh, we need a light in there. We'll put it above the toilet. Okay. No, I don't want any more. Hold on. I'm going to sleep and make it day because it's nighttime and I don't want it to be night. It's mostly normal. But every now and then there's something that you just don't want to see right. Ugh. Weird. That's weird. Okay. Oh shit. I lied. I lied. I lied. Because they need to get in here. What if we make the... Oh, that's kind of weird, though. Hmm. Okay. I might edit the bathroom to be more down here. Oops. Oh, okay. There. Okay, we're going to remove those. Okay, that's still accessible. Okay. We might not have our dream of too wide hallway, but that's okay. We can always like redo it if we really, really want to. Okay. Oh, I actually didn't finish doing that. Is that good? Maybe. Pfft, I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Bedroom. Oh, maybe actually. We might be able to achieve our dream. Oh, maybe. Put a bookshelf in here. Yeah. Okay. So we've got 2 bedrooms. I forgot to put a light in here again. Oh, I also wanted to add some windows. I also forgot to add a light in the hallway. Okay. Window. I would like for there to be a good amount of natural light, just because that's something that I like in real life. So, I like to make that so in the video games I play. Okay. We'll put... Well, let's put it over here. Yeah. You can't really see it, but that's okay. Alright. There's that. We've got a bathroom, a couple bedrooms, and... dining area. Okay. Let's see. Chug some water? Damn it. Shit. Where's my water? There it is. Don't think you've had any water this entire stream? Yeah, no. I have not. You're right. Oh my god. That was so cold. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm fine. Oh my god. Oh my god. Do y'all want to hear something really gross? If you don't, you might want to close your ears for like 30 seconds. Oops. No, no, no. I lied. This morning when I was bringing my partner to work, because I have a car, my partner does not, so I've been driving my partner to work and picking them up. Why is it so cold? Why is it cold? Do I just need to put normal wood in there? Hold up. Where can I find the tutorials? Also, what are these two things? Does the boiler room need to be on a different level? Does it need to be up? Hold on. Wait a minute. Utility room. I think it's because it's not technically a utility room. Oh, it is a utility room. Okay, then how? Then how? I might look it up. Because surely it would just be that, right? Hi, Millie baby. Well, now it says 58, but do I need more than one boiler room? That wouldn't make sense. I'm gonna look it up. Bear and breakfast. Utility room. A fuel chest. I need a fuel chest. How do I do that? Ads? Ads shouldn't be running. What? What the hell? And a fuel chest. What the fuck is a fuel chest? Hold up. Hold up. What is a fuel chest? I don't see a fuel chest anywhere, girl. Can I search? I don't think so. Utility. No? Oh. I gotta buy it. Aha! There we go. Scratchy armchair. Compact sofa. Oh, we got, this is where the, oh. Ooh, I want it. Need that one. Small griddle. Ooh. Ah, there we go. Oh God. Stop. Okay. I want everything, actually. Okay, I don't know why ads ran, but I'm gonna get everything. There we go. All right. What's this? Oh, yeah. Okay, now we can do shit. Tiny fuel chest. All right. Now, oops. There we go. So, I think that's good. I think we can do that. That's probably fine. Tiny fuel chest. Okay. All right. And now I think we put the fuel in that chest and then it stays good for a bit. That working? Okay, how? Okay, why is the temperature going down? Hold on. Am I not understanding? Hi, Millie. Oh, I'm going to Reddit. Oh, I would need multiple boilers. Oh, okay. Since I don't have the most efficient boiler, I need more. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna edit this. We're gonna add. We're gonna get the door back. And little bit more. We'll move this here. Yeah. Okay, so now... Oh, wait. Never mind. Okay. We need... a few more. Are those the only filters I can filter by? Okay. I want a couple of those. I don't think I need more than one tiny fuel chest. We'll see. Oops. Okay, 1 and 2. Okay. I don't like how this is laid out. Stop it. There. Okay. This and... there. Oh, that looks better. It's not quite even, though. Okay, we'll just have to live with it not being even. Okay. Let's see. Is it gonna work now? Hello? Oh, do I have to fill it up manually? I think I might. Okay. Now hold up. Let's wait till that kicks in. Let's check. 71. Okay, that was the issue. All right, I figured it out. Okay, all of them want it to be 75, so we will unfortunately need to get all this in there. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, at least we figured that out. It took me a little bit and some researching, but we did it. Okay, so... okay, 15, 15, 18, 18. Okay. This one is probably good. Ew. Oh, shit. This guy won't really like it. You know what? I feel like I might just want to do it anyway. I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, so we've got that sorted. They come in, check in there. These are the bedrooms. They're kind of ugly, but we're gonna get to decorating it in a bit. Let's sleep. Coffee is cold, as always. Let's see. I would like to do a little bit of decorating. Let's get a mirror. That. Let's get that and that. And that. Why not? Oh, we can get one of these. Wait! This is clothing! Wait a minute. That's really important for me, actually. Wait, this is actually really, really important to me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm broke. Yeah, not the coffee, yeah. Well, what happens, happens, I guess. Oh my god! Oh my god, I love him! Oh my god! Oh my god! I love the sweater so much. Oh my god, that's so cute. Oh. Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh, let's add some windows. Actually, while I'm here. There. Let's add a couple here. I think I might need to move the lights. Oh, wait. I don't know why I needed so many. There we go. Let's put this. Oh, shit. Shit. You know what? We don't need that many. We really don't. Okay, there's one. We can do that. And then maybe another couple over here. Yeah. Okay, that's okay. We can just keep this here. I think I would like the decorative dishes to go there. And oh, I wanted to decorate the bathroom up here with the mirror. Okay. Let's get a rug in here. Yeah. We'll have that there. We'll have this here. And maybe the fancy room can get a hearth. Quote unquote fancy room. That there. We'll give that one as well. I think they can get to that. Probably. Okay. Okay. The entire resort is kind of cheap. I'm sorry, I literally just opened. Can you cut me even the slightest bit of slack? Please. I think I might slide the door a little bit. Okay. Yeah. There. I'm just moving things a wee bit. Okay. Oh, you can't see it though. I want to be able to see the picture. Okay. Let's... You know what? Let's put the light there. And then put that there. You know what? I think that's good for now. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay. I'm having such a good time. Okay. Oh god, that's really hot. Maybe I should turn one of the furnaces off. Will that help? Oh! They're happy. Okay, I guess we'll just keep an eye on the heat. Okay. So we've got that place set up for a little bit. I think it might be a good idea to head back to some of the other areas and see how those are getting on. And maybe schedule some more people. God, I wish I wouldn't forget about my shit. Okay. 15:25. Damn. Damn, I gotta update these. These are shit. Hold on. Let me do that real quick. Oh, I can also recycle things. Eh. Oh god, what's happening? Oh my god. I know they aren't really considered bedrooms at the moment, but nobody's in them. So my thinking is it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's go break down some beds. Would that be in the A24? I think so. Damn, what's with all these bitchy characters? That woman in yesterday's stream being like, you should work harder, hun. Otherwise people won't trust you. And then this one now being like, this place is too cheap. Oh my god, how embarrassing. No, seriously. Everybody's so judgmental. Like, I don't know. You were the one who tried to book here. Sorry. I don't know how to please you. This is why I could never go into, like, hospitality. I just would not have the patience. Respect to all the hospitality workers. I don't know how you do it. Is it... Ah, it's all the way where I am not. Keep your eyes out for trash. I need some trash. I love the sounds in this game. They're so good. Okay. That was really loud. Oops. Okay. All of those. Go.
Oh, hi. Hi, Mary. Hi, Mary, baby. Hi. You wanna say something? You say something to the stream? Yeah? What you can say? Oh, nothing? Are you feeling shy now? Okay.
Alright. Take that. Can I craft for my inventory? I don't think so.
That's okay.
Oh, bus stop is down there. Damn it.
Oh, hi. She's being so sweet right now. Hi, Millie.
Please don't chew my mic. It's expensive. Oh, yeah. This is where I'm supposed to be. Car. Crafting. I think I went too far. Okay. Ooh. Let's see how many we can make. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh shit, I didn't think about if they would actually be able to fit. Fuck. Okay. We're gonna have to rethink this. Oh.
Oh. Yeah? What else you gotta say? What's up? Oh. Did you hear? Did you hear Millie? Oh, Millie. Oh, so cute.
Oh my god. You know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. We may need to downsize some of the rooms. Oh. Okay. Okay. Hold that. Okay, we can fit this one. We can fit that. You did not. Shit. Here, I'll turn the volume down for a moment.
Millie, do you want to say anything? Millie? Millie? What's up? You want to say something? No. You quiet now?
Okay, when she wants to talk again, I will... I'll turn down the volume of the game so y'all can hear. Hello? Move! Okay. There we go. Can I make it? Not really. Shit. Oh my god. Okay. Hello, what room did I click on? Oh, this one? No! What's happening? Edit. No single room can have that shape. Brother, what? Okay. Move. Move! Move! I don't want you here. Oh my god. Get in here. Get in here, bitch. Oh my god, not you. Okay. Hello? Oh. Hello? Why? But I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want a door. I'm scared. Okay, how do I get rid of a door? Question. What? How do I... Hmm. I'm having a hard time. Why? Why is it just refusing? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna exit the game and then reload it. And see if that helps.
Library.
Oh. Damn. Okay. Okay.
Hey, Mary. Hi. What you looking at? Hi. I think she's getting tired.
All right, let's see if we can get things done now. Ah, I just pressed the delete button. Oh wait, I do actually need a door. Hold on. I'm gonna grab this trash. Okay. This. Ugh. Okay, let's just get everything out of here. There, this. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait a fucking minute. Y'all. Sometimes my stupidity amazes me. Oh my god. Actually, let's do that. Add a door. Get a bed. Damn, that's a nice bed. Let's create that room. Let's edit this room. Add that. We might be good doing that. Yeah. Okay. Hold up, girl. Let me work my magic. Oh, can I not get there? Okay, fine. What about that? Oh, wait. No, that doesn't make sense. I need a door. There we go. We're getting somewhere, slowly but surely. Jesus Christ. Saw something from your uni saying it'll give $200 to anyone who reports someone vandalizing, and now you're considering going for work as the campus Batman for minor offenses. Bestie, I love that for you. That's really funny. Oh wait. It was in this room. Was it? Oh yeah. Okay. So that room is good. Now we need to edit this room. Okay. Gotta move the rug. Lamp can be moved here. Shelf needs to be like that. Put that there. Okay, we're getting somewhere, folks, finally. Okay. Winder. No, 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 no. Stop it.
Let me place the fucking bed.
Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind. There we go. Gotta move this and this. There we go. There we go. Oh my god. It only took 1 million years. Okay. We'll have that there. This is just the side table. No, I didn't mean to do that. This here. This here. Actually, yeah. Okay. Furniture. We'll have... Yeah, we'll have that there. That there. You know what? I might do this and then have this rug be here, I think. Looks very cozy. Thank you. I'm trying. I will eventually replace all of this furniture with nicer stuff, but right now it's just focusing on the necessities. Side table. We'll put a little flower vase. We'll put a cat above the bed. Actually, we'll put the mirror here and then the wardrobe here. Wait, this is a shitty mirror. Don't do that. Use the good mirror. You know what? I feel like this person deserves not the shitty... You know what? They can have 2 nightstands. What's saying they can't? Oops. That's okay. It can be sideways. Oh, they get a pretty one. Yeah, sure, put a shelf there. I don't have anything to put on it, but you can have a shelf. Okay. 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 I feel so locked in, but in like a scary way. I'll put another picture here. Well, this one doesn't have a rug. I'll give this one a rug. There. Even if it's tiny, I'll give it a rug. Okay. Wait. Okay. My god. I feel like I didn't blink that entire time. Holy shit. Oh my god, you've been following me for that long? That's almost 4 years. Holy shit. Oh my god. Wow. That's fucking crazy. Okay. 2532. Yeah, that one. And 2324. Okay, this one. There. Okay. Whew. Holy moly. Wow, that was a lot. Okay. We should probably go clean up and book some more people at the 824. Time does stuff. Yeah. Scary stuff. No trash that I can see. Oh, damn. Everything's still so nasty. Okay, hold up. I gotta make these rooms bigger. Why are these rooms so tiny? Hello? Why are they so tiny? You don't need to be so tiny. It's okay. Wait, what? Why can't I? Okay, hold up. Well, hold up. There we go. There. Oh, God. Okay. Before I get yelled at, I'm gonna move that. Edit. Door. Okay. Done. Then do this here. Edit. Door. Okay. Oops. Oh my god. What's happening? There. Okay, I don't know why I didn't just do that in the first place. I'm not sure what my thinking was there. Or my logic, I should say. Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll deal with that for now. Sometimes they're tiny, but it's not the square footage that counts, it's how you use it. Yes. Sorry, I was trying to like compute what you were trying to say. Oh, it's getting dark in my room. I should turn off the light. Okay, there we go. My partner got a like a nice floor lamp for Christmas. Now it's in our bedroom and it's really nice. It's really nice. You can change like how light or dim it is, or like how cool toned or warm toned it is, and it's really nice. Oh my god. I usually have it on warm toned because I tend to prefer warm over cool. I don't know. That's really nice. It's really nice. Okay, 13, 18, 15. Oops. We'll do that one. You thought the silence was me judging you? No, 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 no. No, that was me trying to understand what you were trying to say. Oh my god. Okay, 24, 18, 15. We'll do that one. And 24, 18, 18. And then 26, 18, 18. And then 13, 12, 18. Ugh. That's okay. We can add a little bit more decoration to... What was it? Bedroom 4? Where's bedroom 4? Yeah. Okay. I don't know which one is bedroom 4, but we'll figure it out. This one? Bedroom 5? Bedroom 4. Okay, it's this one. What? Yeah. Stop. Stop it. Do I need to edit it? I don't think I do. I think I just need to put shit in here. What about me? Well, mirror. Do you want a mirror? Is that good? Is that good for you? Okay. Sure. Oh, there's gonna be an ad in about a minute. Ooh, 36 perfect reviews? Damn. Okay. Details. Oh, that's all I can see. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Okay. Are there any trash? I don't see any. Okay. Damn, I need some trash though, like...
Oh, hi, buddy.
I do need some trash so I can buy some things. Maybe I should look around a little bit to see if people have littered. Okay, we're going to pause and we're gonna go on an ad break real quick, and I'm gonna get a snack. I'll be right back, besties. Okay, Mick. Also, forgot to tell y'all, that... Hold up. There we go. Thank you, ad watchers, by the way. That... before stream, like, hour and a half before stream, I started working on a new PNG tuber. This one that I have right now, I've had since I had a PNG tuber on my screen since I started streaming. And my sibling made it for me on their phone, by the way, with their finger. So and now I see some of their art now and I'm like, holy shit, you're fucking crazy. Thank you. But yeah, so I'm working on a new PNG tuber. Don't know when it'll be ready, or anything, but that has been started. My snack for this evening is, ginger seaweed rice cake minis. I love rice cakes. I'm gonna try not to crunch into the mic. Yeah, yeah. Do I need more fuel? Not really, not right now. I need to get more snack items. Oh, I need to text my partner real quick. Last week we bought too few groceries because we expected to, for one of the meals to have a lot of leftovers. It did not. So we quite literally are running out of food. Right now, I could probably make like a sad quesadilla, a sandwich, which I had for lunch, or grilled cheese. So I asked my partner if, cause, they're not out of work yet, but they will be soon. And afterwards they're hanging out with a friend. So I asked if they're eating out, and if they are, if they could get me something. And they are nice, by the way. They're really good. Where's the... There it is. Open your window. You'll throw some pasta. Oh my god, I would love pasta. Yes, please. Yes, please. Do I have any food in here? Oops. That's the light. Oh, there is food in here. Okay. Oh, wait. Ah. I see. Okay. Oh. All right, let's get some people in here. 25, 25, 18, 16. Okay. I think the rest will be just fine. Okay. Perfect. Those are filled. Where else do I have places? I don't think I have Whitestone Bay yet, if that one has one. Okay, finally, fine, I'll talk to you. What? Oh, 8 guests. I'm like, brother, what are you talking about? Oh, I really need more trash. I need people to litter more. That's something I never thought I'd say. Oops. So where is everybody? Oh my god, it's 40 degrees. Ah! Oh my god, they're out of fuel. No, just take all. Oh my god. Well. Uh-oh. I feel like if I have this in here, then it should just automatically refill these, but whatever. Okay. What did you want? Oh, guest expects 75, available 77. Okay. Okay, so we don't need that third one right now. Oh, they're having a good time. Let's see if they're trashing up the place. Doesn't look like it. Oh, okay. Though I wish they would. Oh, wait, there's a little bit here. There we go. Okay. Another rice cake. Dude, rice cakes, like the big ones, were my shit as a kid. Those were like my go-to snacks. Not very filling, but hey. Who said it had to be? Trash! I'm just taking a peek for trash right now. Oh my god, again? And you're right, I haven't had water since then. Thanks for the reminder. Also, I didn't tell that nasty story. Maybe I'll tell it on Thursday. Because now I'm eating, and now I don't want to make myself nauseous. Wait, why can I eat this? Oh, that's why. I don't think anyone would know. Okay. Ooh, I can really go for a wasabi snack right now. Oh, cool. Oh my god! Oh my god! It's so cute! I'm not sure I noticed that before. Did I? I'll harvest some more things while I'm here. Oh my god! Hi! I see trash on the map. I don't think so. Probably not. You want snacks now? Bestie, go get a snack. Trash. have 130. Oh my god, I see someone outside. That's scary. Whoa! Moose carving plaque. That's cool. Oh, that's really fun. Cute. Oh my god. Oh my god, these are so cute. Oh, I can't afford that though. Very large starry rug. Sure. I'll get one of those. And one of these. And that's all I can afford. Plus, I don't want to spend, like, all of my... Ooh. Wait a minute. Maybe I do. A rocking sheep? I'll get that. Okay. I'm broke. Wait. 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 Oh, it doesn't contain any actual trash. It's just stuff. Oh, you're on the bus on the way home? Okay, got it. Grab a snack off the bus, forehead. Easy. Oh! Gross! Oh! What? Why am I stuck? Did I just move everything out from here? Was there anything in here? I don't think there was anything in there. Okay. Let's go visit the other places and check in. Okay. Wait. What is in here? Do I have a thing here? Oh, I do. Oh, yeah! Did they visit yet, or... Oh, active guest to 0? Oh, arrives tomorrow. Okay, so they're not here yet. Got it. Okay, I think that's enough snackagement for me right now. Need to save some room for Din Din for whatever, whatever I decide that I'll end up having. You know what? Let's check out Whitestone Bay again. Let's sleep and then check it out, because I kind of forgot what was over here. I'm gonna be so real. I finished my coffee. Okay. Wait, why can't I get up? Why can't I get up there? Oh, maybe I have to cook Wade French onion soup for him to unlock that. Who are you? The Flight. God. You have more willpower than... I have more willpower than you. Bestie, it took everything in my being not to eat that whole bag. But... I've been trying to be more mindful of, like, eating when I'm hungry and not eating when I'm bored. Cause that's been a frequent issue as of late.
His dark and red mantle will envelop the world. His ardent claws will tear your soul from its fleshy prison. His blood-red eyes are so dreamy.
What the fuck are you talking about? Oh. Wait, should we? Oh my god, I think we should. Let's do it. Oh my god. We cleared the way. What's this lead to? The beach side? Oh my god. Oh my god, I love it. It's so cute. What was that? I don't know what that was, but I picked it up. Oh my god, there's so much trash here. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh, I miss the beach. I don't live by a beach anymore, and it makes me really sad. What's this? Blackberry? Ooh. You tried that for a little bit, you gave up. You know what? That's so real. I get it. I understand. Okay. This is so fun. This is so fun and whimsical. Okay, get down. How do I get in here? Crowbar? It says useful in a lot of very legal ways. I like that. I like that a lot. That's really funny. Oh. I can leave down here, I think? Yeah. Where's this go to? A24? Damn. Yeah, I also get hungry a lot. Which could be a sign of something bad, but at times, you are deceptively physically active. You guess you have also shown more willpower than previously lately, because you haven't spent all your money on snacks yet. Proud of you, bestie. Proud of you. Oh. So I stucked myself. Got it. Yeah, I feel like... Well, that might also be because of, like, the meals that I have. Wait a minute. Can I ride this boat? I'd like to learn fishing one day. Is that a hint to what's to come? Oh, I hope so. I hope the developers of this game are doing well. They had to stop development because it was a husband and wife team. But the wife got cancer, and that's why this game has been at a standstill for years. I hope they're doing okay. What's this? Ginger. Ginger. Stone pile. Oh. I got up here. Oh. Well, this is a fun path. Whoa, whoa. Is there anything I can do up here? Oh. Not right now, I guess. Oh, this is fun. Okay, let me go down. Thank you. Okay, I'm done. I'm done exploring. You're really bad at doing things that are healthy for you, but you struggle to care a lot. But it's probably mostly fine, yeah. I mean, yeah. that's kind of my logic too. Like, I mean, one of my friends, her great grandma, or her grandma, I think, lived to be 107 or something, and she smoked cigarettes every single day and had a huge sweet tooth. So really, you just don't know. Like, I'm sure scientifically, obviously, like being active, having good diet, you know, that is like a big thing, but also you never know. So, and I think I think living happy, but like obviously being mindful, but living happy, I think should be your first priority if you're able to. 23, 24. Let's do this. This one and this one. All right, that's booked. Hi. Any trash? Any trash? The seaside cliffs area? Yeah, it's so pretty. Let's check in on the A24. You can have a huge sweet tooth and still be fine. How balanced your diet is more important than how much of a certain thing you eat. Yeah. Yar. Yar har har. Oh my god. Oh my god. I felt like that person was going so fast. Okay. Not seeing any trash. Looks to be fine. Okay. 2418. Okay, and then 241818. 13, 18. Wait, did more just pop up? Hello? 13, 15, 18. Oh. 26, 17, 18. And then 13, 18, 15. There we go. Okay. So we're booked for a little bit. Good, 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 good. I see trash. I see trash. I see trash. I gobble.
I can't get it. I can't get it.
That's gonna be an issue. Okay, is that better? Can I get there now? Not quite. Can't quite get there. I don't want to remove everything. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know, this is hard. I'll just put it there for now. Oh no! This is awful. Horrible, awful. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is like a puzzle. And not a good one. Oh my god. 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 We'll put that there. Okay. Well, it's good enough for the guest at least right now, so I'll take it. Please. Yes! Yes! Okay. Sorry, that was really bugging me. I needed to fix that. I needed to. Okay. No trash in there. Is there anything over here? Aha! One piece. Okay. Oh, what was that? Oh, sneaky, sneaky snake. Sneaky snake. Oh. Okay. Oh, I was gonna say, did these people come yet? And they did. Oh. Okay, they're all pretty high. 12, 14, 13, 14. Looks like this one is pretty high. And we'll do this one. Okay. That's done. Let's do a once over. Oh. Saw a little bit of garbage. Okay. Yeah. Is that a tiny bear? That's a lamp, is what that is. Okay, good on food. Let's see. Does this need to be cleaned up at all? Doesn't look like it. Ooh, mushroom. Hi, Julia. Hi, Julia. I don't quite know where I'm going. What's happening? Why am I doing this? What's this? Herbs. Oh, I need onions. And potatoes if we can find any. I think these are potatoes. Yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Hey. Okay. I think we're good on corn, so I think we can pass on that. I think we should check into the winterberry one, and then I might... No, I see... There we go. And then I might add some more bedrooms and things to the High Lake area, I think. Oh, pardon me. Excuse me. Oh, by the way, I will not be streaming on Tuesday and Wednesday, but I will be streaming on Thursday. Thursday, we're gonna be continuing the... Oh my god, it really sucks the fuel. Like, truly. Truly, it sucks down all of the fuel. Yeah. See. 15, 30, 18, 18. No guest requests. What do you mean? Wait, why is it in negative? Why is it in the negative? Why is this in the negative? What? Okay, fucking whatever. Damn. Fine. Trash. Trash. I thought that was a rock. It wasn't. Oh, maybe it's because I have a certain amount of guests a day. And that's why. Okay. That makes sense. You know what? I'm gonna stay here overnight and then I'll book people in the morning and then go add some rooms. Oink. Honk shoe. Wakey wakey. Okay. Um, 15, 20, 18, 18. Oh my god. Okay, you're just gonna have to deal with it. I'm kind of broke right now, so you might just have to cope. All right. Let's go to High Lake and add some more rooms. I think in about 20 minutes, I'm gonna wrap it up. Just so I can get a few things done before I go to bed. Okay. All right, let's add some rooms. Where's the workbench? Ah, there it is. Okay. Oh, I still have 2 big beds. That's good. Okay. There and bed. Yep. And then is that, yeah, that reaches. Okay. Cool. Oh, I think if I make a bedroom here too, the bathroom will reach. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's build another one here. Okay. We'll do that. And then boom. All right. Okay. Let's see what we can decorate with, if anything. Oh my god, this carpet is huge. I mean rug. Since this one has kind of a shitty bed, I might as well, put a rug in there. We can put some shelves here. Maybe that there. You know what? We'll just put this up against the wall. How about? It can have a light. That one already has a light. That one's good. We can put that in the corner and then put this, I don't know, here. We're kind of broke on valuables right now, so kind of just gotta work with what we got. Okay. You know what? I think that's good, actually. Yeah. Okay. We got a couple more rooms. Let's see if we can get them rented out. Okay, 23, 18, 18, 16. Okay, I think literally any of these will do. Okay. Nice! Oh, somebody littered. That's good for me. Okay, I have 100. Ooh, more trash. Ugh, 118. I feel like I should be able to get more. I'm gonna check on the food again. I'm sure the food is fine. I just want to check on it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's more than fine. Okay, why don't we go over to Winterberry and check on the food there, too? Oh, we should probably get some fuel. Okay, let's go to Winterberry. Excuse me! Okay, these look like they're doing fine. Okay, those are at 40. Those people arrive tomorrow. Let's see. Okay. Ah! That's doing good, and that's doing good. Perfect. Okay. We took some people for that one. Do we need to check in on the dinky shed? I think we might. I do want to check this out real quick. See what we can buy. Oh my god, that's so expensive. Yeah, this might just be like a good move in general. We'll get a couple of those. Get a couple paintings. And we really only have the money for one more thing. We could get... No, I feel like we have enough floor mirrors. Okay, we'll get a nightstand. Alright. I'm might get some more wood. Yeah. Whoops, that's not where I need to be going. Fuel! Yay! I'll add more fuel to the boilers, actually. Just so I can keep on top of it. Oh, well, it just sucked it dry anyway, so. Can't believe that happened. Wow, that's actually kind of unbelievable. What the hell? You know what, actually, I'll just take that all. Woo! 20 something. All right. All right, that's got us covered for a little bit. I wish people would litter more. I might put some things that I don't need away. Oh. Ready to be filled with data. What the fuck? Cooking items. Okay. That's fine. I just wanted to put those away. High Lake? Yeah. That was where I added the bedrooms, I think. Workbench. Inventory. Furniture. We'll get a little dresser in there. We have a dresser there. We can get about a painting. How about that? Boom. I'll get that. And maybe this. Yeah. Ah. It is the same thing. Can I make any decorative items? I can only make the sensible bookcase. I guess why not? Oh my god, it's huge! Oh my god. That's wickin' crazy. Okay. We should be able to get through that. It doesn't look the greatest. Let's see if we can rework it. Oh, maybe... I think that actually looks a bit better. Yeah. Okay. I wish we had a rug. Huh. That's okay. I see some trash. Some trash in here. None in there. None in here. I think mostly just in the common area. At the mome. Okay. All right. Okay. Wow, look at them go. Are you gonna litter? Are you gonna litter? Are you gonna litter? Are you gonna litter? Are you littering? Are you littering? Are you littering right now? Are you? Are you? Are you gonna litter? Oh. Guess not. Okay. All right, besties. Oh, I can only sleep at night. Girl, what do you think it is? Girl, are your eyes open? Girl, where are your eyes right now? Oh god. Chapstick. Oh, we haven't checked in at the whoops. At our at the dinky shed in a hot minute. Let's check in at the dinky shed. Oh my god, there's so much trash. Oh my god, it's unbelievable. What do you mean you can't get there? What do you mean? Oh. I see. Don't worry, I'll fix that. I'll fix that for you. That's my bad. That is on me. Let's put that there. This here. We'll swap places. I think you should be able to get through there. You think me standing by someone repeating, "Are you gonna litter?" would actually discourage them from littering? But I really need them. I really need them to. Oh, what the hell? Why can't I get past? Okay, hold up. Hold up. We gotta change that. Hey, can I get through that? Surely, right? Oh, I guess let's see. Oh! Okay, they can. That's good. Perfect. Perfect. Garbage! How much trash do we have? 59. Okay. Alright, gang. I think I might end it there for the stream. Ugh, I can't get over the outfit. Look at the fucking outfit. Oh my god. Adorable. Freaking love it. Okay. Besties, it's been such a great chill time today. I've had such a good time. It was great. It was great. It was fantastic. It was so fun. I will see you all on Thursday for some more Potion Permit. Again, no streams tomorrow or Wednesday. Cause I got shit going on. Yeah. Those, the schedule times for the rest of the week are already up on my Twitch, schedule tab and in my Discord. So, those are up for ya. Enjoy whatever you get for dinner. Thanks. I think it's pizza. Thanks. Have a great rest of your night, people. Thanks for joining and chilling. It was great. I'll see you on Thursday. Bye. Stay safe. Don't be stupid. And drink water. That's probably important. Unlike me. Okay, bye!